Why do we feel sadness, and how can we find peace? Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed by sadness, wondering why this emotion lingers and feels heavier than others? It's a shared human experience, universal yet profoundly personal. Sadness often has the power to stay with us longer than other emotions, not just because of its nature, but because we tend to dwell on it. This tendency to ruminate, replaying painful memories or thoughts, can deepen the emotional wound and make it difficult to move forward. But what if there were a way to approach sadness differently? A perspective that invites not just understanding but healing. Rooted in ancient wisdom, Buddhism offers guidance on navigating sadness. Emphasizing mindfulness, compassion, and a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. By exploring these teachings, we can find new ways to cope with sadness, rediscover joy, and cultivate lasting peace. Let's delve into these transformative insights, uncovering practical steps that anyone can take to embrace and transcend the weight of sadness. The search for genuine happiness. True happiness isn't something that comes from external sources, it arises from within. This fundamental Buddhist principle invites us to look beyond fleeting pleasures and examine what truly brings us joy. Often, sadness takes hold when we rely on external circumstances to define our happiness. By turning inward, we can identify what genuinely makes our hearts light and our spirits strong, engaging in activities that resonate deeply with us, whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or contributing to something meaningful, serves as a powerful antidote to sadness. These sources of joy act as anchors, keeping us grounded during life's inevitable storms. Cultivating inner happiness requires prioritizing these moments and letting go of distractions that don't contribute to our well-being. Gratitude also plays a pivotal role in this journey. Taking a moment to reflect on the positive aspects of life magnifies their presence and shifts the focus away from what's lacking. This practice doesn't just brighten our mood but creates a foundation for enduring happiness. Embracing the strength of connection, loneliness often amplifies sadness, turning it into a heavy burden that feels impossible to bear alone. But humans are inherently social beings, interconnected by relationships that offer support and solace. In times of sorrow, reaching out to loved ones can be a transformative act. Sharing our thoughts and feelings helps lighten emotional loads and strengthens the bonds that sustain us. Connection isn't limited to face-to-face interactions. Technology allows us to maintain meaningful relationships even when distance separates us. Participating in communities or groups with shared interests further expands our circle of support. Reminding us that we're not alone, expressing gratitude toward those who support us nurtures these connections, fostering an environment of love and understanding. It's a mutual exchange, giving and receiving warmth in a way that uplifts everyone involved. Living in the present moment, the past often casts long shadows over our present, especially when sadness stems from unresolved memories. Dwelling on these moments can trap us in a cycle of pain. Buddhism teaches mindfulness as a way to break free from this cycle, encouraging us to observe our thoughts without becoming attached to them. Reframing how we think about the past allows us to find meaning or lessons within difficult experiences. This doesn't mean denying the pain but recognizing that it doesn't define us. By focusing on the present, we can embrace the beauty of what is here and now, rather than getting lost in what once was. Forgiveness, too, plays a key role. Letting go of resentment toward ourselves or others is like releasing a caged bird. It brings freedom and lightness to our hearts. This act of release opens the door to emotional healing and peace. The healing power of nature. Spending time in nature is a timeless remedy for emotional distress. The serenity of natural surroundings provides a soothing contrast to the chaos of inner turmoil. Walking through a forest, listening to the sound of a stream, or simply gazing at the stars can offer a profound sense of peace. Nature also reminds us of life's rhythms, its cycles of growth, decay, and renewal. These patterns mirror our own emotional landscapes, reassuring us that sadness, like seasons, will eventually pass. By immersing ourselves in the beauty of the natural world, we reconnect with something larger than ourselves, gaining perspective and clarity, seeking help without hesitation. Sometimes, sadness evolves into a deeper, more persistent despair. When this happens, seeking professional help is an essential and courageous step. Mental health professionals offer tools and perspectives that help us navigate complex emotions. Their guidance can be invaluable, providing strategies to manage depression and build emotional resilience. Reaching out for help isn't a sign of weakness but a testament to our strength and self-awareness. It's an acknowledgement that we deserve care and support, just as much as anyone else. Building a support system that includes friends, family, and professionals creates a safety net, ensuring that no one has to face their struggles alone. Reshaping negative thoughts. Our thoughts have immense power. They shape how we perceive and respond to the world. Negative thoughts, if left unchallenged, can cloud our reality and deepen sadness. Cultivating awareness of these patterns is the first step toward breaking free. By questioning the validity of negative thoughts and replacing them with positive affirmations, we reclaim control over our mental landscape. This process isn't about ignoring difficulties but about finding new ways to interpret them. It's like planting flowers where weeds once grew, transforming the inner dialogue into one that nurtures rather than harms. The joy of creativity. Creative expression offers a unique outlet for emotions. Whether through painting, writing, music, or other artistic endeavors, creativity allows us to process and release feelings in a way that words alone often can't. It's a form of self-discovery, where the act of creation becomes a therapy in itself. Engaging in creative activities shifts our focus from sadness to possibility, reminding us of our capacity to bring something new and beautiful into the world. It's not about achieving perfection but about embracing the joy found in the process. Nurturing through self-care. Self-care is an essential practice for emotional well-being. By prioritizing rest, nourishing our bodies, and engaging in activities that bring us joy, we create a foundation for resilience. Small acts of kindness toward ourselves, like taking a long bath, enjoying a favorite meal, or simply pausing to breathe, can have a profound impact. Self-care isn't indulgent, it's necessary. It reminds us that our well-being matters and helps us build the strength to face life's challenges with greater ease. Practicing mindfulness and gratitude. Mindfulness, the practice of being fully present, anchors us in the here and now. Through meditation, conscious breathing, or simply observing our surroundings, we cultivate awareness that allows us to engage with our emotions without being consumed by them. Gratitude complements mindfulness by shining a light on the good in our lives, even during difficult times. Reflecting on what we're thankful for shifts our perspective, helping us see beyond sadness to the abundance that exists around us. The journey toward peace. Sadness is a natural part of life, but it doesn't have to define our existence. By embracing these practices, finding happiness within, connecting with others, reframing thoughts, and more, we can navigate sadness with greater compassion and resilience. Each step brings us closer to a place of balance and serenity, where joy and peace can flourish. Let this journey be a reminder: while sadness may visit, it doesn't have to stay. There is always a path forward, illuminated by the timeless wisdom that resides both within and around us, the power of challenging negative thoughts. Our minds often play tricks on us, replaying old fears and insecurities, especially when we're already feeling down. Negative thoughts can feel overwhelming, like a storm cloud that blocks out the light. However, it's important to recognize that thoughts are just that, thoughts. They are not always reflections of truth, and they don't have to control us. Challenging negative thoughts begins with awareness. Imagine each thought as a visitor knocking at your door. You get to decide whether to let it in, entertain it, or gently guide it away. By questioning the validity of a negative thought, asking if it's based on fact or assumption, you create distance between yourself and the thought. This process allows you to assess it objectively, reducing its emotional impact. Replacing negative thoughts with positive or neutral affirmations is like replacing a cloudy lens with a clear one. For example, instead of thinking, "I always fail," you might reframe it as, "I've faced challenges before and learned from them." This small but powerful shift in perspective can have a ripple effect, changing how you see yourself and your circumstances. Over time, this practice strengthens your mental resilience. You begin to realize that while you can't control every thought that arises, you do have the power to decide which ones to focus on and nurture. Creativity as a gateway to healing. When sadness feels stifling, creativity becomes a breath of fresh air. Expressing yourself creatively isn't about producing a masterpiece, it's about engaging in the process and finding joy in the act of creation. Whether it's painting, writing, cooking, or gardening, creative activities provide a safe space to explore emotions and release tension. For many, creativity becomes a meditative practice. Losing yourself in the flow of a creative task quiets the mind and provides a break from overthinking. The process itself is therapeutic. It allows you to externalize your feelings in a tangible way, giving them form and helping you understand them better. The beauty of creativity lies in its endless possibilities. There's no right or wrong way to create, only what feels meaningful to you. Through this exploration, you may discover a new passion or rediscover an old one, further enriching your life. Cultivating inner peace through self-care. When sadness grips us, self-care often takes a back seat. Yet, it is during these times that caring for ourselves becomes most vital. Self-care is an act of self-compassion, a way of acknowledging your needs and prioritizing your well-being. Physical self-care, like eating nutritious meals, staying hydrated, and getting enough sleep, lays the foundation for emotional health. Meanwhile, emotional self-care involves practices like setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, and allowing yourself the space to process your feelings. Engaging in small acts of kindness toward yourself can be incredibly uplifting. It might be as simple as lighting a candle, enjoying a favorite snack, or taking a few minutes to breathe deeply. These moments, though small, remind you that you are deserving of care and comfort. Self-care also involves creating routines that ground you. A daily walk, a moment of meditation, or a journal entry at the end of the day can serve as rituals that provide stability and help you feel more connected to yourself. Finding stillness with mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches us to embrace the present moment without judgment. When sadness arises, it's tempting to either suppress it or let it take over completely. Mindfulness offers an alternative, the ability to observe our emotions with compassion and curiosity, rather than resistance or attachment. This practice often begins with something as simple as focusing on your breath. By paying attention to the rhythm of your inhalations and exhalations, you bring your awareness back to the present. This focus creates a sense of calm and prevents your mind from wandering into the past or future. Mindfulness isn't about eliminating sadness, it's about changing your relationship with it. Instead of fighting against your feelings, mindfulness allows you to sit with them, acknowledge their presence, and let them pass in their own time. This practice cultivates patience and self-acceptance, fostering a sense of peace even amid emotional turbulence. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily life doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as pausing to appreciate the taste of your food, feeling the ground beneath your feet during a walk, or taking a moment to notice the colors of the sky. These small acts of awareness gradually build a stronger connection to the present and to yourself. Practicing gratitude, a light in the darkness. When sadness feels all-encompassing, gratitude can be a transformative tool. It shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present, reminding you of the blessings that exist even during difficult times. Gratitude doesn't require grand gestures. It can begin with acknowledging the small joys in life, a kind word from a friend, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, or the comfort of your favorite sweater. These moments, when noticed and appreciated, create a ripple effect that brightens your overall outlook. One effective way to cultivate gratitude is through journaling. Writing down a few things you're thankful for each day helps solidify a habit of noticing the positive. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to focus more on what's going well, rather than dwelling on what's not. Gratitude also deepens our connections with others. Expressing appreciation to loved ones strengthens relationships and fosters a sense of belonging. Whether it's a heartfelt thank you or a small note of appreciation, these gestures create a cycle of positivity that uplifts both giver and receiver. Embracing life as a continuous journey, ultimately, navigating sadness is not about eradicating it but learning how to coexist with it. Life is a continuous journey, filled with moments of joy and sorrow, light and shadow. By adopting practices that nurture inner peace, like mindfulness, self-care, gratitude, and creativity, you create a toolkit for resilience. Remember, sadness is just one part of the human experience. It doesn't define you, and it doesn't have to control your story. Within you lies the strength to face these moments with grace, the wisdom to learn from them, and the courage to seek joy even in the darkest times. Your journey is unique, but you are never truly alone. Whether through connection with others, the healing embrace of nature, or the timeless wisdom of practices like mindfulness, there are countless paths to rediscovering your inner light. Each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to a life filled with meaning, balance, and peace. Recognizing sadness as a teacher, sadness, while challenging, can also be a profound teacher. It often emerges from the gap between our expectations and reality, or from experiences of loss and longing. While it's natural to wish sadness away, embracing it as an opportunity for growth can lead to deeper self-awareness and transformation. Buddhist teachings emphasize the impermanence of all things, including our emotions. This perspective invites us to see sadness not as a permanent state but as a transient visitor, one that brings valuable lessons about our desires, attachments, and vulnerabilities. By sitting with sadness rather than resisting it, we allow ourselves to understand its roots and what it might be trying to teach us. For instance, sadness often points to areas in our lives that need attention or healing. Perhaps it's signaling unresolved grief, unmet needs, or unspoken truths. Recognizing this can help us approach our feelings with compassion and curiosity rather than fear. Sadness becomes less of an enemy and more of a guide, showing us where we need to grow. Let go, or change, The role of compassion in overcoming sadness. Compassion, both for ourselves and others, is a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy and a powerful tool in overcoming sadness. When we're feeling low, our inner critic often becomes louder, amplifying feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt. Practicing self-compassion silences this critic, replacing harsh judgments with kindness and understanding. Imagine speaking to yourself as you would a dear friend who is struggling. Would you criticize them for their feelings, or would you offer words of encouragement and support? Extending this same kindness to yourself creates a nurturing environment where healing can take place. Compassion also extends outward. When we're sad, it can be tempting to withdraw from others. However, acts of kindness, whether small or large, can lift both our spirits and the spirits of those around us. Volunteering, helping a friend, or simply listening to someone else's struggles can create a sense of connection and purpose, reminding us that we're all part of a larger human experience. This practice not only alleviates sadness but also fosters a deep sense of unity and understanding. Through compassion, we discover that helping others can be one of the most effective ways to heal ourselves. The importance of letting go. One of the most liberating lessons Buddhism offers is the concept of letting go. Much of our sadness stems from clinging, whether to the past, to expectations, or to people or situations that no longer serve us. Learning to release these attachments can free us from the cycles of pain and disappointment. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or dismissing what we've experienced. Rather, it involves acknowledging our feelings, processing them, and then choosing to move forward without being tethered to them. It's about accepting life as it is, rather than holding on to what we think it should be. This practice requires courage and patience. Start small. Perhaps by releasing minor frustrations or forgiving small grievances. Over time, this ability to let go will grow, helping you face larger challenges with greater ease. In doing so, you make space for new experiences, relationships, and opportunities to bring joy into your life, reconnecting with your inner child. Sometimes, sadness can stem from feeling disconnected, from ourselves, from others, or from the sense of wonder and playfulness that once defined our lives. Reconnecting with your inner child, the part of you that is curious, imaginative, and unafraid to dream, can be a profound source of healing. Think back to activities that brought you joy as a child. Was it drawing, running in the park, or building sandcastles? Allow yourself to revisit these moments, not as an obligation but as a playful exploration. Engage in activities without judgment or expectations of success. Simply immerse yourself in the experience, as children do. This reconnection reminds you of the joy that exists within you, independent of external circumstances. It's a way to reclaim parts of yourself that might have been buried under the weight of responsibilities or sadness, finding meaning in small moments. When sadness feels overwhelming, even the simplest tasks can seem daunting. Yet, it's often the small moments that bring the most comfort and meaning. Savoring a warm cup of tea, feeling the sun on your skin, or listening to a favorite song can remind you of life's gentle pleasures. This approach, often referred to as microjoy, involves finding gratitude and happiness in tiny, everyday experiences. These moments may not erase sadness, but they create pockets of light that make the journey more bearable. Over time, these small joys can accumulate, building a foundation for greater emotional resilience. Practicing mindfulness during these moments enhances their impact. Instead of rushing through your day, pause to fully experience these simple pleasures. Let them ground you in the present, offering a reprieve from the weight of sadness, building resilience for the future. While sadness is a natural part of life, building resilience ensures that it doesn't overwhelm us when it arises. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties but about developing the strength and flexibility to navigate them with grace. This process begins with self-awareness, understanding your triggers, patterns, and coping mechanisms. Once you recognize what affects you most deeply, you can prepare strategies for managing these emotions, whether through mindfulness, seeking support, or engaging in activities that bring you joy. Resilience also involves maintaining perspective. When sadness strikes, it's easy to feel as though it will last forever. Reminding yourself of past challenges you've overcome can help you see sadness as temporary, a wave that will eventually recede. Lastly, resilience is strengthened by maintaining a sense of purpose. Whether through work, relationships, or personal passions, having something to strive toward gives life meaning and direction. Even when sadness arises, this sense of purpose serves as a beacon, guiding you back toward hope and fulfillment, a continuous journey toward peace. As we navigate the complexities of sadness, it's important to remember that healing is not linear. There will be ups and downs, moments of progress and setbacks. Each step, however small, contributes to the broader journey toward emotional balance and peace. The wisdom of Buddhist teachings reminds us that we are not defined by our sadness. By embracing practices such as mindfulness, compassion, gratitude, and self-care, we can transform this challenging emotion into a source of growth and understanding. In doing so, we create space for joy, connection, and inner tranquility. Let sadness be a reminder of your capacity to feel deeply, to learn, and to evolve. In its shadow lies the opportunity for profound transformation, a chance to rediscover the light within and around you. Thank you for watching to the end. Share your thoughts in the comments. What strategies have helped you overcome sadness in your life? Have you tried any of these approaches, and how did they work for you? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.